I deserve abundance. I deserve abundance. I deserve abundance. I'm designed for abundance. I'm designed for abundance. I'm designed for abundance. I magnetize abundance. I magnetize abundance. I magnetize abundance. I deserve abundance. I am designed for abundance. I magnetize abundance. The child of a king can never be a beggar. I, as the child of that abundant God, I deserve abundance. I'm designed for abundance. I magnetize abundance. Abundance in every sense. Abundantly healthy. Abundantly wealthy. Abundantly blissful. Abundantly loving. Abundantly spiritual. Abundance in every sense. Healthy, wealthy, loving, blissful, spiritual. I deserve abundance. I am designed for abundance. I magnetize abundance.
Feeling thy presence, feeling thy grace, feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination, and I'm always connected to you. Nothing of me and everything of you. Lead me higher, lead me deeper, lead me beyond, lead me to you.
Loving you all so much. And on this sacred day, wishing you all most and more. Wishing each one of you abundance of whatever you may desire. Feeling reverential gratitude to Infinitism Day. To know that some way all this is actually unfolding for the betterment of humanity. And not only Mahatreya, but every infinityist in their own ways are playing their part, stroke by stroke, in painting this world blue, choice by choice, contributing to the evolution of human consciousness. And to know it all began this day, 7 years ago on 11/11/11, from 11:11 a.m. Make this day a very sacred day. Much before I even talk about infinityism or celebrate infinityism or celebrate infinityist, the greatest of all creation is a human being. Its abuse of human life, if we just end up living a life of me, mine, myself, it's a wasted opportunity as a human being. If I can't even think beyond my immediate family, lift yourself so that you can lift others. Is what Vedas is asking all of us to do. I have loved you as my Father loved me. Now you love each other the way I have loved you. Said Jesus Christ. When you're having even a morsel of food, and if your neighbor is starving, then you're not a Muslim. Proclaim prophet. Lord Mahavira expanded the boundaries of love and compassion and asked of all of us to live and let live, to love all and to love all the time. Unable to see human suffering, Gautama Buddha dedicated his entire life for the upliftment of his brethren. Coming from the same tribe, the same clan as human beings, we just cannot afford to just exist, live a life of mere personal gratification and individual pleasures. Think of security just for that small circumference called family. We don't need the entire world to stand up to this cause. But even if a small percentage of us, a small world within this larger world, as infiniteist, first take this responsibility to live your life the infinityism way. That will be your primary aspiration. And in turn, in the way you live your life, If we can inspire first this small circumference called family, and then keep expanding the circumference of your influence to your team, to your organization, to your friend circle, society at large. We live an extraordinary life, we still die. We live an ordinary life, we still die. Then might as well live our life in such a way that the life that each one of you have lived 50 years later, 100 years later, somebody in this planet should continue to benefit out of the life that you have lived and gone decades ago, centuries ago. And that's the privilege of being a human being. You can leave a legacy. The privilege and blessing of being a human being, that you can live a life where you're not only a turning point into your own life, but you're able to be a turning point to the world at large. And let's not let this opportunity pass by. Let's not miss this chance. I don't want you to miss yourself. I don't want you to miss this life. And I don't want the world to miss you. Even if a concept of rebirth exists, you will never be born again in this name and form. This is the only chance you have got to be in this name, in this form. And whatever years that are left, like I say it so often, any way is okay. A lot of us have lived our life up to this point. From here on this sacred day, Infinityism Day 2018, let's resolve, this is how I'm going to live my life from here onwards. Set certain standards for yourself. And when the potential is there where your life can impact collective human consciousness, let's make it happen. I remember after a few interactions I had with people on one particular day, sequences of interactions, and seeing that people are not happy, people are not able to get their relationships right, people don't know what to do with their potential. I titled one of those playlists of mine, Something Cries Within. Will I awaken this humanity? It still cries. And I want something inside each one of you to feel one with this crying. Together, can we awaken this humanity? Can we first lift ourselves and in turn lift the world around? With infinityism happening in your life, there must be a way, there must be a difference, there must be a different level of maturity in how you respond to a situation and how anybody else respond to a situation. If there's no difference, then what's the point? In the way you wake up to the day, in the way you care for your body, in the way you love your family, in the happiness with which you go and express yourself at work, the way you challenge yourself in the manifestation of your potential, and the way your heart beats every moment in gratitude, feeling how blessed I am, how special I am, for having all the faculties that I have. And all this absolutely rooted in faith, that knowing that I am not alone, that you are able to feel the spiritual promise, that the energy of my source of faith plus me, anything is possible. You plus me, anything is possible. You with me, anything is possible. And this manifesting, where every today of your life is competing with every yesterday of your life, in making the day more useful, more purposeful, more contributive, maybe causing a smile in someone in the world, maybe wiping the tears of somebody out there in the world, maybe patting somebody's back and saying, you can do it. One appreciation out of the way. One courageous moment to say, sorry, I was wrong. One spiritual moment. Eyes closed and transcending yourself, or eyes open and living a moment of your life which is beyond me, mine, myself, for others, for a cause. There's so much more to life than getting stuck with a mobile phone hours together, than to be enslaved in the various forms of social mediums, endlessly addicted to television, succumbing to the laziness of extra hours of sleep. There is so much more to life. And all this is available at your disposal just by the virtue that you are a human being, and by this blessing that you are an infiniteist. You are aware there is a teacher who is ready to hold your hand day after day, week after week, year after year, breathing with you, living with you, walking with you, carrying you, showing you, crying to you. Don't miss yourself, don't miss this life, let the world not miss you. Time is ticking. Life is slipping. And there's only so much time that is left. Wake up. Can you listen to my call? Come. Let's make your life count. You're not here to be another. You're not here to be a nobody. You're not here to be lost in the crowd. You're not here as another statistical entity in the world population. You're a human being. You're an infiniteist. You're my product. You're Mahatreya's product. And to ensure that every breath of mine, to the last breath, is invested in inspiring breakthroughs in as many of you as possible, until internally you recognize it, not intellectually. That is still information. An epiphany has to happen in your life. An ever since moment has to happen in your life. At some stage, there must be a resolve in you. Hereafter, this is how I'm going to live my life. To somehow make you realize you don't belong here, you belong here. You don't have to rot in the lower levels of human consciousness. To lead you higher, deeper, beyond, into realms of consciousness from which you deserve to live your life. I've already pledged, but now repeating it to you. Here I am to invest every breath of mine to the last breath. As long as this energy keeps expressing through this form, I want to do everything in my capacity to make you live the life that you deserve to live. Your maker must be proud. The creator must feel proud of the way you live your life. The pride of the manufacturer is in the products that he creates. In the way you live your life, you offer your gratitude to the wisdom that created you. Right now I am saying something within me cries, will I awaken this humanity? I want it from each one of you. I want to see you live life the way you live your life and shed positive tears. I want as many of you as possible to make me feel in the deepest chambers of my heart. One day I should be able to take your hands into my hands, look into your eyes and tell you, you are the one I was searching for. And you owe it to the one who has found you. So when I was ready to pledge every breath to my last breath, and ask myself this question, what do you mean by taking human consciousness from where it is to where it can be? What are some of the objectives that you would like to achieve? The first thing I wanted to teach the world, transform the world, is into this pyramid of evolution. Right in the beginning, from our own parents, peer group, teachers, we start gaining knowledge. That's the first pyramid of human development, knowledge. And as you grow in knowledge, then you start stepping into the next rung of this pyramid, where you start shaping your skills and attitudes. You realize what is not enough in life, why and how are also important. So you start working on your attitude and skills. That is when the vocational development, the technical development, the professional development in a person happens. And that's when you're also taught how to see the vicissitudes of life, the plus and minuses of life, the highs and lows of life, the success and failures, the triumphs and defeats, the gains and losses, material relationship opportunities. But all these things about the first two rungs of human development, knowledge, attitude, skills, is all okay if you also want to be only an also-ran in life. One more in the world population. Just taking care of a family of 3-4 people. Sorry to say this, a bull works an entire day and takes care of a family of 3-4 people. A horse works an entire day and takes care of a family of 3-4 people. A goat sacrifices itself and takes care of a family of 3-4 people. Any human being living a life where their life is only worth taking care of 2-3 people, according to me, is sub-animalistic existence. Because animals have lesser faculties. A human being, God created human being after His own image, says Bible. The Jivatma descended from the Paramatma, claims the Vedas. The Creator has embedded Himself in every creation of His, says Guru Nanak. In the presence of such spiritual powers and higher faculties, for a human being to live a life where he can just take care of a small family of 3 people, 4 people, sub-animalistic existence. But if that is what I seek in life, and we need people of all kinds, then knowledge, attitude, skill is enough. But if you are one of those aspirational kinds and you are looking beyond, the natural phase of human development makes you look into the philosophies of life. So that is when you show interest in Kabir, that's when you want to understand Thiruvalluvar, and that is when you are trying to understand what a Socrates or an Aristotle has said about life. You want to see the thinker's perspective of life. That is when you are interested in not just reading books of fiction, you also want to read non-fiction. That is when you want to peep into the minds of other people, you show interest in reading biographies and autobiographies. You want to know what has gone into the making of a man, making of a legend, making of a revolutionary. You start peeping into the philosophies of life, and that's the third rung of human development. Interestingly, anybody who has peeped into philosophy cannot but develop interest towards religion. Because religion is the womb from which a lot of these philosophical thoughts have unfolded. Maybe studying other religions, maybe wanting to understand your own religion. That is when you lay your hands for the first time to read commentaries on scripture, various interpretations that is there from scripture. That is when you want to look into your own tradition. That's when you start asking these questions. Till then you might have been practicing certain religious rituals without ever asking this question. But for the first time you start asking this question, what is the purpose of this ritual? What is the meaning of this tradition? Is it true? In fact, you go into an agnostic state where there is a war between you want to believe but you are not sure if you can believe it. And you are there in this agnostic state. But now you are in the fourth rung of development and you are looking into religion. Maybe as a skeptic, maybe as a research scholar, maybe as a seeker who is trying to search for answers to some of the lingering questions on life that's still making noise within you. You cannot peep into religion and avoid developing inquisitiveness, curiosity about God, because God is the hero of every religion. So for the first time Even those of you who have been practicing religion or following religion, everybody goes to church, you go to church. Everybody goes to temple, so you go to. Everybody is doing namaz, so I also do. In my family, everybody does, so I do. And at this stage, some of them go into atheism. One, because they didn't find answers to a lot of questions that they asked, or depends on who was influencing their thinking. A form of belief. I don't believe is also a belief. And in some of you, you go towards theism, atheism. People who do not believe in the existence of a supernatural power. Theism. People who believe in the presence of a force beyond this finite intelligence, may not still understand what it is. For atheists, this conclusion it does not exist, their search ends there. For a theist, this belief that there is a force beyond this finite intelligence that exists, the search begins. The noise increases. Now you have more questions and you need more answers. That is when you're peeping in. Look at this pyramid. Knowledge, attitude, skill, philosophy, religion, God. Need to ask another question. Is there anything above God? I know some people will even consider it as blasphemous. That even a question like that, is there anything beyond God? Can it even be asked? And some of you who have not understood your scriptures, no personal understanding, heard say or read it in patches, like how you prepare for exams, only important questions you study. But those of you who dwell deep into the scripture will understand the spiritual depth of this question. Is there anything above God? Ironically, yes. Faith is above God. Because only for those who have faith, God itself exists. Somewhere this vision was born. This world that has been divided in the name of God and religion. Two of the lower rungs. Because for a lot of you, God is nothing more than a form and a proper noun. There is a name and there is a form and you think that's God. Maitreya, how can you even first ask and more importantly even assert there is something beyond God? When you understand the depth of this, and this is one of the visions of infinityism, to create a collective human consciousness that has been divided in the name of God and religion, can that be united through faith? A few minutes of interaction with you is not enough to go into the depth of the entire thing, but this is one of the visions of infinityism. To teach the world that on which you have faith is your God. And each one of you have to find your my God. If that's the God everybody follows, that's the God everybody follows. Even if everybody follows the same God. You're my God. What you feel for your mother and what your brother or sister feels for your mother is individualistic, right? Common sense. Even though me and my sibling, it's our mother in the physical sense, in the feeling domain, What I feel for my mother is my feeling for my mother, and what my brother or sister feels for my mother is their feeling for their mother. My Krishna is my Krishna, your Krishna is your Krishna, my Jesus is my Jesus, and your Jesus is your Jesus. One day, including some of you where there are still agnostic questions in your head, including a lot of these atheists who have not understood the science, the depth and science. Religion is the highest science. Unfortunately, we don't have enough scientists to teach the science called religion. The cream of human intelligence has gone off into science. Physics is not a bad subject. You developed a disliking for physics because there was a bad physics teacher who did not know how to make you love physics. That's what has happened to religion. The vision is, if every man can find his own religion, if every man can find, a doctor is a doctor, but he has chosen to be a cardiologist, she has chosen to be a dermatologist, they have chosen to be a gynecologist, he wants to specialize as an ophthalmologist. Individual preferences. Somebody has decided to be employed, somebody has chosen to be a homemaker, somebody has chosen to be an entrepreneur. Within an entrepreneur in this line of business, that line of business, somebody has committed their life to agriculture, somebody has joined politics. Life is all about choices. A lot of people say the problems in the world is because there are religions in the world. The problem in the world is there are too few religions. So we are all fighting with each other. When every man can choose his path to his God, when every man can choose his faith, we'll build a very beautiful world. True spiritual evolution is to outgrow from the bondage of all discrimination. Come with me in this vision. Let's do everything we can collectively to build a world where, like I hear what is your name and you hear what is my name, and beyond that we just have identities to relate with. Like that, let's build a world. Are you saying the vision is too lofty, utopian? Remember, every revolution in the world started with one person. I already have 1 million people who believe in the vision of infinityism. I'm not even asking what will be the future of infinityism. I'm saying infinityism will be the future. I'm only saying let's do it together. I'm only saying do not be a spectator to this revolution. I'm saying join it. You have noises in your head, I have clarity. Let me remove those noises. Let's understand life, including God, including religion, including faith, in the most scientific way that we can understand, and let's herald further. Let each one of us in our own way participate in contributing to this collective evolution of human consciousness. And let this be our gift to generations to come, that human beings get to live life the way human beings ought to live. But from where this world got an idea, I don't know. Either you can grow spiritually or you can grow materialistically, you can't grow both. So at one end you see a lot of people who have embraced materialism, no happiness, no peace, no love, no life. And at the other end there are people, so-called renunciates, thinking they've embraced a spiritual life. And there's so much emptiness in their life also. A lot of ritualistic practice, but I don't even see peace in the eyes of a lot of these people. When and is possible, why choose or? So another vision of this path is to create a world which is spiritually rooted and yet embraces material abundance. This and that is possible. The ability to choose the discipline of closing my eyes, introverting myself, going deep within and dissolving into my source of faith, energizing myself, having the divine fragrance rub into my personality, and from the depth of static experiences to open my eyes, pull my sleeves, and tell the world, hey world, I'm coming. And to go and conquer the materialistic realm, to take the world head on. To play this Leela called life to the hilt. To embrace humongousness, healthy, wealthy, loving, blissful, all rooted spiritually. That on which you have faith is your God. You relate to your personal my God. You choose your path to your God, to live a life rooted in spirituality, growing in materialistic abundance, desiring abundance. Scarcity has created all the problems in the world. As children of that abundant creator, that infinite consciousness, man is not designed for scarcity. The child of a king cannot be a beggar. And you as the creation of that abundant universe cannot be living a life of scarcity. How do I achieve all the changes? First, your thinking has to change. First, you at every layer of your subconscious has to self-hypnotize yourself to believe I'm designed for abundance. I deserve abundance. I will magnetize abundance. The transformation first has to happen within. The manifestation, the times to come, will happen outside. A world of holistic abundance. A life where your own past looks like someone else's past, and that's only possible through breakthroughs. Unless you choose to break with the patterns of your past, if I keep doing the same things, I'll keep getting the same results. Let me break the pattern of my past. Let me reparent myself. Let me re-author the script of my future. Let me at some stage of my life draw a line and say, my future begins today. Today is the first day to the rest of my life. Can this be the day for you? Can this be your spiritual rebirth on this sacred day, Infinityism Day 2018? Can you gift yourself a spiritual rebirth? enough is enough that you have lived here. Can we begin from here? How do we do that? So theism means faith. Faith in what? Faith in an infinite. Anything beyond the finite. I don't care what that proper noun is. Different religions have given different proper nouns. I don't care what those proper nouns are. But there is an infinite beyond this finite. In whatever it is. Faith in that infinite. Faith in the infinite potential that is sleeping inside you. Faith in the infinite possibilities that future is awaiting to unfold for you. Faith in the power of the collective infinite potential of humanity. Faith in the power of infinite choices that we can make. So infinite plus theism together became that sacred sound, infinityism. Two things happen when you write infinityism. One, you will see 4 eyes there. And those 4 eyes in my handwriting look like 1, 1, 1, 1, 11, 11. And thus infinityism was born. On 11, 11, 11, at 11, 11. Here I am, celebrating the 7th sacred infinityism day through this expression with all of you. 2, when you write infinityism, and if you take away the INF, the first 3 letter in the beginning and the last M, the rest of infinityism reads, in it he is. In infinityism, in it he is. I truly believe that infinite consciousness, it's expressing itself through this path of infinityism to cause the renaissance of a new humanity. And I truly wish as many of you as possible who have already grown in this path for days, months, years, you're also able to put your hand up and say, count me in. And infinite has to express itself through a sacred symbol, and that sacred symbol is those 3 red dots that you get to see always. It's called Ratriya. Triya means 3. Ratriya. Why Ra? Mahatriya Ra. Why Ra? Ra is the sun god. And sun is beyond geographies, beyond religion, beyond life forms. From a blade of grass to prophets and incarnations, from a crawling insect to the diving dolphins, to the ignorant man, to the enlightened soul. That one source of energy that enlivens all with no discrimination. That sourceless source, the sun. Since that's exactly what this consciousness through this form is striving to achieve, Ra, Mahatreya Ra. We'll come to Mahatreya later. So Ra, Triya, Ratriya, the three red dots. One way, dot, dot, dot means never ending, continuity, perpetuity, infinite. Another way, when we look at Ratriya, reminding the corporate mind, not the logo, the sacred symbol of infinities. I am not talking to the intellectual skeptics. I am not talking to those who endlessly waste their time in creating social media noises. I don't even bother about it. I am talking to all of you infinityists. I am talking to my loving, lovely, lovable infiniteist. Through you, I am saying, let this tribe grow. So to you, I am telling you, Ratriya, you see it one way, it is the animal, man, divinity inside each one of us. You see it another way, it is A, O, M. You see it another way, it's 786 in a religion. It's Trinity in another religion. The creator, the sustainer and the destroyer in another religion. Looking at it another way. In the realms of emotional maturity, it's accept, change, remove. When we look into the striving of a human being, we strive to evolve in the physical material plane, in the psychological emotional plane, and in the spiritual plane of our development. It's again three. That's what is symbolized by the three Ratriya pillars. We also call them as the hugging pillars because we hug them. But it also integrates spirituality with materialistic pursuits. Because Ratri also represents energy plus intelligent effort plus faith in the energy. Energy, spirituality, intelligent effort, purushartha, human endeavor. And what pours the spiritual energy into the human endeavor? Faith in that energy. So energy plus intelligent effort plus faith in the energy is Ratriya. The consciousness from which this threefold path has unfolded is Ra. So, Mahatreya, that higher consciousness from which, that higher consciousness that cannot be owned by anybody but it belongs to everybody. That higher consciousness in whose eyes, in whose touch and in whose heart there is no discrimination. Everybody is special and nobody is special. There is no first, there is no last. So Mahatreya Ra. And all this unfolded with a few things that we practice. Scriptures say when more than two people pray together, blessings descend. Khalil Gibran in Prophet says, you meet in the air those who pray together at the same time, independent of geographies. So every day from 11:10 a.m. to 11:11, we sing the Infinity Prayer, a universal prayer, which I'll come to, followed by 1 minute silence. Hundreds of thousands of us, we come together in collective silence. A lot of people are saying what we need to do about global warming, about saving water, soil erosions, the Arctic ice breaking, depletion of ozone layer. But all this chaos in the world is because of the chaos that exists, the noisy mind of the man. Everything is only an effect. If I have to correct the effect, I have to correct the cause. As Blaise Pascal so beautifully put when he said, all wars in the world are fought due to the inability of the man to sit alone in a room quietly. So we practice 1 minute silence. I think instead of contributing more thought noise to the world, if we all can contribute a little more silence to the world. I'm not saying centuries from now, decades from now you will see there will be a difference in the world. So in the midst of all the corporate noise, and by decision it was taken, in the midst of noise, not by convenience, in the midst of noise, in the midst of all your busy schedules, let's invest 2 minutes to introvertedness. It's called the infinite minute. In a minute, let's experience the infinite through our silence. So 11:10 to 11:11, the infinite prayer, and 11:11 to 11:12, collective silence in a state of non-doing. I'm so glad that so many educators have reorganized even their schools, periods in such a way the children in the schools are able to practice infinite minute. And trust me, it's going to make all the difference. May the power of your doing be derived from the power of your non-doing. May all your doing in life be punctuated by practice of non-doing. Compared to volumes of book that you read, even a few minutes of silence is going to unfold a lot more clarity in your life. Modern science says, fill your mind for knowledge. The ancient science says, empty your mind. Then you don't have to seek knowledge. Knowledge will seek you. Clarity will come in search of you. So we sing the infinite prayer. It was this desire like happy birthday song, where independent of religion, nationality, mother tongue, everybody is happy singing the happy birthday song. So it was one of this wish from the path of infinitism. How about having an universal prayer where independent of who or what is your source of faith, when you experience the infinite prayer, you still feel it is your expression towards your source of faith. So here goes those 11 lines. Feeling thy presence. Feeling. In my mother tongue, I always say, கடவுள் புரிஞ்சிக்க வேண்டிய ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லை, உணர வேண்டிய ஒரு விஷயம். God is not an aspect that can be comprehended. God is an aspect to be experienced. That you are not able to understand God is not ignorance. You think you can understand God is ignorance. The finite can never comprehend the infinite. The finite can dissolve into the infinite. How? Through your feeling. Life is governed by feeling. Love is a feeling, happiness is a feeling, gratitude is a feeling, confidence is a feeling, nervousness is a feeling, fear is a feeling, comfort is a feeling, success is a feeling. Bhakti is a feeling. Devotion is a feeling. Not through my intellectual noise, but through the purity of my feelings. Feeling thy, whatever that thy for you is, feeling thy presence. If it's a person, then it is confined by time and space. Anything that's a person, you can only say was, is, will be. Anything that's a person cannot be was, is and will be. It cannot be past tense and present tense and future tense. If something has to be in the past, centuries ago, in the present right now, and in the future, centuries to come, it cannot be a person, because a person is confined by time and space. Like how Hanuman ripped open his heart and showed to Rama itself, not for public bragging. He was not doing a marketing exercise. To Rama himself, poetically put. That's the brilliance of Valmiki. That's Hanuman telling Rama, Rama the person. Let me use a modern information technology phrase. Rama the person is a shared resource. Everybody has ownership to that Rama. Our Rama is a shared resource. My Rama that I carry in my heart is even independent of you, Rama. Feeling thy presence. Relating to the person, but carrying the presence always. When I am with you, I am with you. Even when I am without you, I am still with you. Once you learn to experientially understand feeling thy presence, it will no more be aas paas kuda hai. You will be able to say, mere paas hi kuda hai. Feeling thy presence, feeling thy grace. This breath of mine right now is by thy grace. This heartbeat of mine right now is by thy grace. In a life of such uncertainty, fragile, vulnerable, 1 centimeter this side, 1 centimeter that side is life and death. 1 minute before and 1 minute later is a grabbed opportunity or a missed opportunity. If so much about my life is going right, it's by thy grace. There's a beautiful spiritual expression that says, experiencing your grace by your grace, avanarulal avanarulai petru. Even to experience your grace, I need your grace. And the fact that I am right now even praying to you, what can it be but your grace? There's a beautiful expression in the Vedas. It says, tomorrow morning when you're offering your puja to your Lord, don't have this egoistic arrogance that I am doing it. Because everything gets done. You cannot move this thumb of yours without that existential grace. You wouldn't have woken up to another sunrise without that grace. I wouldn't be speaking to you without that grace, and you will not be listening to me right now without that grace. That this moment is happening between you and me. This chemistry, this connect is happening between you and me right now is by grace. So the Veda says, tomorrow when you are offering puja, rather than having this egoistic arrogance, I am doing it for you. Let it be a moment of humbling gratitude. He is doing puja unto himself through you. You can only say, thank you for choosing me as thy instrument. Feeling thy grace, feeling thy radiance. Experience by experience, my Lord, you're dispelling the darkness of immaturity with which I was living my life. Experience by experience, you are evolving me to higher maturities with which I am living my life. I can look at how I would have reacted to certain situations in life, and I can see how I am responding to those situations in life. I can look back and see what sort of emotions I would have gone through in such situations in life. And I can see the equanimity, the harmony, the peace, the tranquility with which I am experiencing life right now. I can see the immature, ignorant choices I have executed in life, and I can see the sort of choices I am executing right now in life. I can see your shining light in my life, feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my source. I am only a resource. Everything from you, by you, through me. You are my source. Source of what? My faith. You are my faith. And from my faith, I derive my strength. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination. Damn the traditional prescription which tells you at the end of your life, seek spirituality. One of the delights of the path of infinityism is the number of little ones I am carrying in my life. The stars of the future that I am carrying in my life. The way these little ones keep asserting to me again and again, I as a product of infinityism will make it very, very, very big in life. The number of times they assert to me, my heart dances in delight. Who said spirituality is for the oldies? Oldies too. Who said spirituality is not for the youth? It's for youth too. They just need to be taught spirituality scientifically, rationally, intellectually, in a way that they can understand, in a language that they can understand. And one of my celebration itself of the path is the number of stars of the future that I am carrying. Just wait. There are a lot of them who are coming for the world to pause and watch them in the way they are going to live their life. Just looking at the way a lot of them are living their life, I feel the future is secure. You are my path and destination. In every step, I know either you are walking with me or you are carrying me. And this entire life that I am living for my karmic fulfillment will eventually culminate in you. I will dissolve into you. Feeling thy presence, feeling thy grace, feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination. And I am always connected to you. We cannot afford to be a part-time devotee of a full-time God. And I am always connected to you. The old question, where is God? The old reply, where is He not? With the birth of path of infinityism, the new question, when are you with God? The new reply, when am I not? And I am always connected to you. Nothing of me and everything of you. I am just your instrument. This birth of mine as a human being is because of you. This energy that is expressing through my potential is yours. Nothing of me. When I say nothing of me, I'm not belittling myself. I'm not saying I'm nothing. Rather, I'm telling you, I can be everything with your energy. Nothing of me and everything of you. With those 7 lines of expressing what I feel for you and what you are to me. I have nothing to ask you. Because when I look into my life, you seem to know better what is right for me than I know it myself. But if I might still ask, all I ask of you is only 4 things. 1, lead me higher. As a human being, born with this gifted intelligence, let me live my life with the highest maturity that is possible. Take me to the higher branches of consciousness from where I can live my life. Lead me higher. Lead me deeper in my spiritual alignment. Let me always be rooted in spirituality, in the way I live my life. Lead me beyond. Lead me beyond all my perceived limitations. Where all you think that between my 2 ears, I've convinced myself I can only do so much. I'm only wherever I'm confining myself with definition, break those definitions and lead me beyond in the materialistic realm. And my Lord, how much ever the child is playing with the toys, nothing substitutes the mother for the child. How much ever I enjoy this kingdom of God, nothing substitutes you for it. What else will I seek than you? This and that. I'm an infinityist, remember. So let me have the best of the kingdom of God. But I want to also dissolve into you. Lead me to you. Feeling thy presence. Feeling thy grace. Feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination. And I'm always connected to you. Nothing of me and everything of you. Lead me higher. Lead me deeper. Lead me beyond. Lead me to you. My loving, lovable, lovely infinityist. In whatever way you feel, in whatever way it occurs to you, celebrate this sacred day. Feel the celebration. Own this vision. Feel one with the path. Together, the possibilities are infinite in front of us. That's why the symbolic color of infinityism is blue. The cosmos is blue. Sky blue. The ocean blue. Anything that's limitless. The possibilities for infinityism as a path and the possibility for you, the infinityist, as a potential is truly limitless, boundless, cannot be confined, cannot be defined. Together, let's paint the world blue. Carry me in your heart, and I promise I will carry you through life. You will always be a part of the womb of Mahatreya silence. They say from the seat of silence, your mere wish is a command to this universe. And from the depth of the silence, I release this wish. A world living its life the infinitism way. Thank you.
Feeling thy presence, feeling thy grace, feeling thy radiance. You are my source of faith and strength. You are my path and destination, and I'm always connected to you. Nothing of me and everything of you. Lead me higher, lead me deeper, lead me beyond, lead me to you.
May the beginning of this miracle period bring humongous possibilities into each of your lives and fill not only your life but the life of all your loved ones with abundance of every form. With every passing day, may your life become even more beautiful in every aspect of life. Very, very gently. Please open your eyes. Loving you so much. Loving you so much. Mm. 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 Where have you all been? Oh, not to be seen for such a long time, especially the Chennai people. Mm. One of the things life has trained me over these years is the pace at which I am able to settle my emotions. The way I am able to switch emotions. I really thought the greatest challenge in life is to switch roles. Because we always have a tendency to carry the residue of one role into the other role. Especially if the residue is negative. The pressure of one role or the stress of one role. And because we keep playing multiple roles in our life, it becomes so difficult for us sometimes to shift from one role to another role. So the stress of a professional day somehow shows up in the family. Or the insecurity that you go through in your personal life somehow rubs on into your professional life. So having observed people for a very long time, I've realized that one of the big time leaps as far as growing in maturity is concerned is the ability to switch roles without carrying the residue of one role into the other. If it's positive, it's okay. One role made you happy and you carried that happiness to another role. It's okay. But when you carry the negative of one role to another role, somebody is getting penalized for no fault of theirs. It seems once, almost 15 years back, my brother was awarded the best employee in the organization. He's very excited and he came home and shared with his wife. It's such a precious moment in our life. I've been awarded the best employee in the organization. And it seems she said, including you, nobody knows what I had to go through for you to become the best employee. My life did not change. In fact, it deteriorated. All these times when you were trying to be the best employee, you were not the husband a woman wanted. We missed the happiness at home. We missed our loving moments. We failed to cherish each other. And at the cost of all these sacrifices, you succeeded in one role in your life. You became the employee of the organization. So I've realized one of the challenges in life is to grow in maturity, to be able to switch roles without carrying the residue of one to the other. The more and more you become aware how much of residual emotion we carry from one role to another role, we will be able to transcend that. But essentially, at the root, it's nothing but the ability to switch emotions. The ability to choose emotions. And if there is anything that interacting with all of you earlier face to face, and now to some extent through technology, it's trained me, because one news will be about the birth of a child and the next news will be about death of an individual. And you have to do justice to both the emotions. You have to celebrate with those who are celebrating and mourn with those who are mourning, without either of them knowing that you are going through both the emotions right now. It's being true to that moment. The ability to cry fully when you're supposed to cry fully, when you feel like crying fully, the ability to laugh wholeheartedly, when that's all you feel like doing wholeheartedly. Some by now